Welcome, webheads. It's that time again for the most supersonic, hypersonic, and harmonic cybersecurity webcast on the internet. So welcome to Head in the Clouds. So take it away, Jules and Jay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julie Haste here with Jason Weber for another episode of Head in the Clouds. In this installment, we're going to talk about zero trust architecture, identity, and how they apply to remote access. With our guest, Senior Solutions Architect, Stephen Turner. He specializes in identity access management, directory services, and network infrastructure. So Steve, thanks for being here with us today.
Oh, my pleasure, Julie and Jason. Glad to be here.
So Steve, we've been hearing a lot about zero trust lately. Can you give us a high-level definition of zero trust and maybe tell us a little bit more about what are the challenges with zero trust with remote workforces that so many people working from home are experiencing?
Yeah, absolutely. The thing with zero trust is you can't just go out and buy zero trust in a box. To a large extent, it's a philosophy, really. I like to say it's a mantra. A zero trust architecture really assumes no explicit access or trust really to anything. It's very much the idea: trust nothing and examine, everything. When it comes to remote access, we've seen a large increase in the need for remote access solutions since about March 2020. This has opened up a lot of insecure remote access pathways, though, right? Some places did remote access securely, but there's a lot that really didn't. And that comes, to a large extent, that comes with the issue that kind of old school remote access technologies and VPNs, right? They really run counter to a zero trust approach. Right? Some examples, not natively supporting principles of least privilege. It's very much the idea, it's an all or nothing access to the network. Those old school approaches really didn't include a lot of capabilities when it came to session monitoring and management. They didn't really scale well, and they were prone to vulnerabilities and overall just kind of complicated when it came to adding security to them. And to bring up the security side of things, these insecure remote access pathways, they've really become the bad actors' path of least resistance when it comes to doing malicious things. Zero trust remote access enabled by privileged access security controls, backed up by identity management and full traffic inspection, that's really the way to go.
Steve, over the past 2 years, I've deployed countless VPNs, right? And we do a lot of directory integration, authentication, things like that. Really, what sets the Okta integration with those VPNs apart from just a standard Active Directory integration? Why Okta?
Well, one word when it comes to Okta, it's really about identity, right? Okta is an identity access management solution, right? We hear IAM. It provides directory services, user provisioning into those VPN applications, multi-factor authentication. It really takes care of any identity use case, whether it comes to access for your employees, for your partners, and even in some cases to your organization's customers.
So I'm very familiar with zero trust, right? Deny by default, allow by exception was kind of the motto that we've always gone through. Tell me a little bit about how Okta is going to help us to fit into that model. What part of Okta's identity, right? Yeah, we're going to validate that we know somebody, but what really sets Okta apart? What sets it into that zero trust approach?
Well, when we talk about zero trust, we also have to kind of talk about what zero trust isn't, right? Zero trust is not the idea of network security where you have outside bad, inside good, where you have a castle protected by a moat. So what becomes the perimeter? Well, to a large extent, identity becomes the perimeter. We have security based on identity and the capability to prove the identity throughout the whole process, through the workflow, through the connecting to things, whether it be networks, whether it be applications. And Okta is the piece that allows us to manage that identity, right? Manage that identity, manage security policies with that. Because doing zero trust right is really about verifying identity, right? And verifying identity at every door or every change of access or permission that's needed.
Now, it's interesting you said every door. So that means that we can utilize Okta in multiple locations, assuming you mean cloud-based SaaS applications and remote access applications and internal applications. Like is that what you mean by every door?
Absolutely. Whether it's connecting to a VPN, whether it's doing a remote desktop connection to a server, or even an SSH connection to a server, whether it's connecting to Office 365, whether it's connecting to Salesforce, right? There's an identity piece there, there's an authentication piece there, and that's what Okta really handles.
So that really sums up why we need Okta, but what about the remote access piece? Can you shed some light there?
Yeah, I talked about before how some of the things, kind of the old school VPN and remote access approach is kind of, where they have their problems. Prisma Access from Palo Alto Networks, that's really your connection piece, your security piece. And it fits in really well with zero trust and a zero trust architecture, whether we're talking about people connecting from home offices, branch offices, right? Branch offices in the organization, really all points in between. Prisma Access, a lot of people, if they're familiar with it, they might think of it just as kind of a cloud-based VPN service, but really it manages and helps your organization secure your mobile users, those branch offices and those remote networks in a lot of great ways, at the same time being very scalable and being very secure.
So is scalability what sets it aside from those kind of old school VPNs? What really sets Prisma Access apart from just throwing an open VPN server in my DMZ or just throwing Global Protect on one of my firewalls?
Yeah, the beauty with Prisma Access is a lot of the stuff has already been done for you, and you have the scalability of having basically someone connecting from anywhere. They get the best performance because of the multiple gateways kind of already in place that they can connect to. So very, very scalable, at the same time very, very secure, right? Everyone knows Palo Alto Networks when it comes to their firewalls, right? They're known for their products and services being really world-class, being really in their own class when it comes to security, when it comes to things like traffic inspection and just overall network protection.
So Steve, can you tell us how Prisma Access in conjunction with Okta assists organizations in their zero trust deployments?
Absolutely. Once again, right? Zero trust, we're away from that idea of perimeter-based security. So identity is key. So once we think about identity being the foundation of a zero trust strategy, adding Prisma Access, that gives us that connectivity in a scalable and secure way we talked about. And Okta is easily integrated with Prisma Access to take care of the authentication piece, to take care of the multi-factor authentication, and to be a centralized identity provider that is in the cloud, that itself is very scalable, that itself is very reliable, as well as Prisma Access being all those things. So together we have comprehensive user security, right? World-class security from Palo Alto, flexibility, scalability when it comes to both our connection piece and when it comes to our identity piece. So people can stay connected and do their jobs even through the tough times that we've been going through, in coming on 2 years now.
It has been a crazy 2 years. Steve, I do want to thank you for taking some time to spend with us today and it's helping us to understand what zero trust is and how Okta and Prisma can assist us. We do have some promotions going on for everybody out there for the next couple of months. Feel free to reach out to Head in the Clouds at cloudharmonics.com or your account rep to get some more details on those. And thanks all and have a great day.
Thanks all.